Hey there, welcome back. So for this video, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about positive and negative square roots. So the idea of a square root is that it is two numbers that multiply together to get the number that's inside the root bracket, or this funny looking division symbol type thing. So what we want to do is when we're finding a square root, we want to find the two numbers that are the exact same number that multiply together to get that number. So in this case, we have 9 inside, which we know 3 times 3 equals 9. Okay, so that means the square root of 9 is 3. But there is also another possibility. -3 times -3 also equals 9. And those are the same number being multiplied together, also getting 9. So whenever you have the square root of something, the square root of a number could equal the positive root, or it could equal the negative root. So for this next example, we're going to find both the positive and the negative square roots of 225. So first, let's start by breaking down 225 into numbers that multiply together to get 225. We may not know exactly what those two numbers are that are exactly the same that get this, or the square root off the top of our heads, but here's how we can figure it out. I know that 225 can be divided by 5 because it ends in 5 or 0. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start by taking 225 and dividing it by 5, which would give me 45. So that means 5 times 45 would give you 225. So those are our factors. I'm going to circle the 5 because this is a prime number, which means I can't break it down anymore. The only thing I could break it down to would be 5 times 1, which isn't going to change our root or our answer. Now I'm going to go ahead and break down 45 into 9 times 5. So now I have another 5, so I'm going to circle that, and because that's prime. And then I'm going to keep breaking down the 9 into 3 times 3. So I'm going to circle both of those because those are primes. Now that we're completely down to primes, what we're looking for are groups of two numbers that multiply together to make the number. So I see right here, I see two 3s. 3 times 3 equals 9. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 3 out here. I also see two 5s. I see a 5 here and a 5 here. So if I have a group of two of the same number, or the same prime factors, I'm going to go ahead and put it outside. Okay, now to finish it up, 3 times 5 is 15. So that means the positive square root of 225 is 15, and the negative root would be -15, because -15 times -15 would also give me a positive 225. Okay, here's another example. We're going to find both the positive and the negative square roots of 3,600. Okay, so first I'm going to start by breaking this up into two numbers. I'm going to break it into 36 times 100. And I knew that this would work because this has two zeros at the end. So if I divide it by 100, that would leave me with 36 times 100. I can break 36 into 6 times 6, and I can break 100 into 10 times 10. Now, none of those are prime, but I can stop here because I know that I'm looking for groups of two of the same factors. So I have a group of two 6s right here. So I'm going to put 6 out here. And I have a group of two 10s right here. So I'm going to put 10 out here. When I go ahead and multiply that back together, 6 times 10 is 60. So that means the square root of 3,600 is either 60 for the positive root, or it's -60, because -60 times -60 would also give me 3,600. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today for these examples of positive and negative square roots, and I hope to see you next time.